Welcome to day 15. You're about to go into the midpoint of this program. Before we begin today and continue on the topic of unfuckwithability, but first I want you to go back to a graph you drew in your journal. This is the graph of happiness in the now and vision for the future. And you made a point of where you were at that point thus far. I want you to take a look at this graph again and see what has changed. Has your vision for the future gotten clearer? Has your happiness in the now gotten higher? Make that new point. This will help you see how far you've thus come. The art of being unfuckwithable is to help you stay at that point without slipping too far downwards. So, as we continue the topic of being unfuckwithable, we're going to go into the second component. And this has to do with going from whole to whole. What this means is that as we grow up, we get hit by various incidents, comments, situations that slowly poke holes in our sense of self. They make us question ourselves. They make us doubt who we are. And it's really interesting how these things come up. A lot of it comes up at childhood. Shelley Lefkoe, the parenting psychologist, gives an example of this. She says so many of us badly parent and were badly parented. For example, Shelley says that it is absolutely bad to send your kid to a corner. She says, imagine the following scenario. Billy is eating at a table and he drops his spoon. And mom says, Billy, pick up your spoon. Billy drops the spoon again. Mom says, Billy, pick up your spoon. For the third time, Billy drops his spoon. Mom says, Billy, that's it. You're going to the corner. In the mother's mind, she assumed that Billy was being disobedient. But what if this is what was going on? Because we never really know what a child is thinking. Maybe Billy, because kids are so actively exploring the world, was simply testing his theories. He wanted to see what sound the spoon makes when it dropped. He wanted to see what reaction his mother makes. And then maybe the third time it was just an accident. Now, by sending Billy into a corner, just made a grave parenting error. She may have implanted bad beliefs into Billy. See, Shelley said the first thing a parent needs to do, other than keep their child safe, is to protect their child's belief system. Now imagine Billy's in a corner, and here's what he could be thinking in his head. Mom doesn't love me. That's why I'm in this corner. Mom doesn't want to be in my presence. That's why I'm in this corner. I'm a bad boy. That's why I'm in this corner. Now, children's minds have a meaning-making machine. They seek to make meaning of the world. These statements take on a whole new life as Billy gets older. They turn into statements such as, I'm not worthy of love. I am a failure. Nobody respects me. Little things that happen throughout our childhood stack up, and they give us these holes in our well-being. Marissa Peer, Mind Valley's hypnotherapy teacher, speaks about this in all of her programs, and she shows that even some of the most powerful people in the world sometimes have these holes related to love or health or loneliness or who they are as a person. And the reason we have these holes is because human beings so crave validation from other people. We are biologically hardwired to belong in a tribe. One of the greatest threats that can happen to a human being is being kicked out of a tribe. That essentially, thousands of years ago, meant being left to die. So when anything that we view as our tribe dismisses us or sends us to a corner or puts us out, that is an incredibly bad toll on our psyche. I remember once when it happened to me. I was 15 years old. It was 1991, and the number one song on the radio was Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. All the cool kids in my school knew the lyrics for Ice Ice Baby. They would rap it during recess. Now I know, yes, right now we would not think about Vanilla Ice as the epitome of music in any genre. But I remember back then, if you didn't know the lyrics to Vanilla Ice, you were not a complete human being. Now I tell this story because it shows you just how ridiculous we are at attaching our sense of self to things that make no sense. So I remember that lunchtime. There was this girl in class I kind of had a crush on. And there she was with the cool kids, just sitting down on a playground, singing Ice Ice Baby. I was waiting for a scenario to come across a situation where the cool kids had just finished verse number 1 and I could jump in and just rap with them. And I did. And I got the line wrong. And I remember what that girl said. She said the following words. It's like 25 years and I still remember this. She said, "Gee, you're such a nerd." And I felt my heart break at that point. That was one of the most devastating memories I have in high school. I was kicked out of the tribe. I was no longer whole. I was the nerd. Now, you would think that a situation like that was tiny, but these little statements in moments of significance like that can have huge damage on our psyche. The result is, today, 25 years later, I have completely memorized the entire lyrics for Ice Ice Baby. I don't even know why my brain does this, but it's etched in my memory so that I never, ever, 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 ever get called a nerd again by a woman I like because I do not know the lyrics for Vanilla Ice. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with his brand new invention. Something. Grab a hold of him tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Check out my hook. And I'll flow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and wax a chump like a candle. And I could go on. And it's stupid, but it's etched in my memory because of this dumb human tendency to need to be validated. So we all do this. We all have these holes. And if you understand the point of that story, we seek validation from dumb things, such as knowing the lyrics to a song. And to protect ourselves from invalidation, we do dumber things like commit the lyrics of Vanilla Ice to memory for 25 years. So how do you fix this? How do you fix this? There's an exercise I learned from an author I interviewed. His name is Kamal Ravikant, and he wrote a powerful book called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depended on It. Kamal Ravikant is an investor in Silicon Valley, and in the book, which I strongly recommend you read, it's about 85 pages long, he spoke about a time when he was going through a depression, couldn't get himself out of bed. He was just not able to function, and he realized that the root cause was lack of self-love. He devised a series of exercises, one of which I'm going to share with you here with his permission. And these simple exercises, as simple as they were, transformed his life. The exercise that he recommended is called eye gazing. Now, this is how you do it. I want you to listen to the instructions, and then I want you to find a mirror. And I'm going to teach you how to do this exercise. It's really simple. All you have to do is look at yourself in a mirror. Pick either your left or your right eye. Try to focus on just one eye. You can jump back and forth, it doesn't matter. And as you look at your own eye, you are simply going to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Repeat this 10 times. Now, the beauty of this exercise is there is some crazy magic that it works. Try it. Do it for the rest of this quest and continue doing it if you want to. And here's when I want you to do it. I want you to do it every morning when you're brushing your teeth. You're going to do what is called habit stacking. Every time you brush your teeth, as you look in the mirror, I want you to practice the eye gazing exercise and say, I love you. What you're going to do is to practice right now. You don't have to brush your teeth if you've already done so. Pause this video, go find a mirror, gaze at your own eye, say I love you 10 times, come back. So how did that feel? Did it feel weird? Did it feel uncomfortable? That's okay. There's something really bizarre about looking at the human eye. It's like looking at the doorway to someone's soul. Studies show that if you look at someone else's eye and you just eye gaze for even like a minute, you develop feelings of empathy and love. But we can do this with ourselves too. We can look at our own eye, look at our own soul, and tell ourselves, I love you. And there's a fascinating effect that happens. You start healing the holes because you understand that you do not have to seek validation from outside sources. It can come from within. Now, that was one exercise, but I want to give you a second exercise to really lock this in. And again, these tools are super simple. Do not underestimate them because they're simple. This second tool is called I Am Enough. And what I want you to do is to write this on your bathroom mirror. I am enough. Marissa Peer the formidable hypnotherapist who's part of our Mind Valley portfolio of authors, has prescribed this to some of the most remarkable individuals in the world. And she's found that this exercise has a profound impact. She was once called in to work with a Hollywood actor who was extremely hard to work with. He was such an asshole back then that he wouldn't let you park your car in front of his house unless it was an expensive sports car. He was dating women who were wrong for him, and he was incredibly tough to work with on set. The director brought in Marissa Peer. She sat with him and understood that the source of his assholery was really a father who made him feel invalidated. Marissa prescribed a simple exercise. He had to write on his bathroom mirror with lipstick, "I am enough." And if you're a guy, just go to a freaking pharmacy and buy lipstick. No one is going to judge you. Remember, you're unfuckwithable. So buy that lipstick, write on a mirror, "I am enough." Thousands of people around the world started doing this exercise when Marissa shared this story. The results have been phenomenal. As for that actor, Marissa shares that she once bumped into him again at an event in Hollywood. And he started undoing his belt when he saw her. He's like, "Marissa, I got to show you something." And she got a little worried for a second. And then what he showed her is that he had gone down multiple belt loops. He had started to lose weight. He'd started to date the right woman. He'd become a much kinder, gentler soul. He was no longer obsessed about the type of car you drove, all because he had fixed the own holes in his being. All of us can do the same. Something is magical about looking at yourself in the mirror with the word "I am enough" written on it. That's the second exercise I want you to do. So go ahead and figure out a way to put that on your mirror. Now, as we go through this program, I want you to wake up every day, and as you brush your teeth, look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I love you." And I want that mirror to have the text "I am enough" on it. Observe how you're going to feel over the next 2 weeks. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.